Have you ever been certain about a memory, only to discover you were wrong? This is a common human experience. But what if millions of people shared that same wrong memory? This strange phenomenon has a name: the Mandela Effect. It describes a situation where a large group of people collectively misremembers a specific fact or event. It makes us pause and wonder about the nature of memory itself. Is our recollection of the past as solid as we believe it to be? Or is it more like a story we tell ourselves, one that can be edited and changed over time without us even noticing? The universe is full of mysteries, and some of the greatest ones lie within our own minds. The term Mandela Effect was created by a paranormal researcher named Fiona Broome. In 2009, she discovered that she and many others shared a distinct yet false memory. They all remembered Nelson Mandela, the South African anti-apartheid leader, dying in prison during the 1980s. They could recall news clips and even a widow's speech. However, this never happened. Nelson Mandela was actually released from prison in 1990 and went on to become the president of South Africa. He lived until 2013. The discovery that so many people could share such a detailed, incorrect memory was startling, and it gave a name to this puzzling intersection of memory, psychology, and shared experience. This effect isn't just a simple mistake made by one or two people. It represents a large-scale, collective misremembering. It's as if a detail from our shared history was subtly altered, but only some of us noticed the change. This raises profound questions. Are these just simple errors of the mind, amplified by the internet? Or could they be evidence of something more complex at play in the cosmos? Exploring the Mandela Effect is a journey into the very way our brains construct our reality. We must use the tools of science and skepticism to navigate this fascinating landscape of memory and misremembering, separating fact from the fiction our minds can create. The origin of the name itself highlights the power of this phenomenon. It's not just about forgetting a small detail. It involves creating a complete alternative narrative of a major historical event. The people who remembered Mandela's death in the 1980s weren't just wrong about a date, they had constructed a whole sequence of events around it. This demonstrates how vulnerable our collective consciousness can be to error. As we explore the universe, we must also explore the universe within our skulls. The Mandela Effect serves as a cosmic reminder that what we perceive as reality might be more flexible than we ever imagined, a story written in pencil, not in stone. The Mandela Effect extends far beyond one historical figure. It touches upon the small, everyday details of our culture, the things we grew up with. One of the most famous examples is the children's book series about a family of bears. Many people vividly remember these books being called the Berenstain Bears, with an E in the last name. They might even picture the name written that way on the cover. However, if you look at the books today, and indeed if you look at any official copy ever printed, the name has always been the Berenstain Bears with an A. This small difference has caused huge debates online as people grapple with the conflict between their strong memory and physical evidence. Another popular example comes from the world of movies. Think about the classic film Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. What is the most iconic line spoken by Darth Vader to Luke Skywalker? Millions would confidently say, "Luke, I am your father." It is one of the most quoted lines in cinema history. But if you watch the scene, you will find that Darth Vader never says Luke. The actual line is, "No, I am your father." This small change feels wrong to many, as if the version they remember has been erased. This is a powerful demonstration of how our minds can add details to make a memory more dramatic or logical, even when that detail was never there to begin with. Let's look at another example from our pantry. Many people remember a popular brand of peanut butter called Jiffy. They might remember the red, blue, and green logo on the jar. The reality? There has never been a peanut butter brand named Jiffy. The brand is, and always has been, Jif. People seem to have combined the name Jif with the popular phrase "in a jiffy," creating a false memory of a product that never existed. This shows how our brains can merge different pieces of information, creating a new, believable memory that feels completely real but is entirely fabricated. It's a testament to the creative, yet sometimes unreliable nature of our minds. Even famous logos are not immune to the Mandela Effect. Do you remember the man from the Monopoly board game? What does he look like? Many people will confidently tell you that he wears a monocle, a small eyeglass for one eye. They can picture him clearly, the top hat, the mustache, and the monocle. but the character, Rich Uncle Pennybags, has never worn a monocle. This collective misremembering is so widespread that the non-existent monocle has become a symbol of the Mandela Effect itself. Each of these examples forces us to confront a simple yet unsettling truth. Our memories are not perfect recordings of the past. They are reconstructions, and sometimes the reconstruction gets the details wrong. Why do so many people misremember the same things in the same way? The answer likely lies in the fascinating and complex workings of the human brain. Our memories are not like video files stored on a hard drive, perfectly preserved and ready for playback. Instead, memory is a reconstructive process. Every time we recall an event, our brain rebuilds it from scattered pieces of information. This process is influenced by our current beliefs, emotions, and even suggestions from others. It's a bit like an artist painting a landscape from memory. The main features might be correct, but some details could be changed or added for effect. One powerful psychological factor is called confabulation. This is when our brain fills in gaps in our memory with fabricated details to make a more coherent story. It's not lying, because the person genuinely believes the fabricated memory is true. For example, with the "Luke, I am your father" line, adding the name Luke makes the sentence more direct and personal. Our brain might unconsciously make this edit to improve the narrative flow of the memory. This process happens automatically without our conscious awareness. It's a feature of our brain's operating system designed to create meaning, but it can sometimes lead us to believe in things that never happened. Social influence also plays a massive role in shaping our memories. When we hear other people share a memory, it can reinforce or even alter our own recollection. This is known as social contagion of memory. The internet has amplified this effect on a global scale. When one person posts online about remembering the Berenstain Bears, thousands who had a vague or uncertain memory might suddenly feel their own version is confirmed. This creates a feedback loop, where the more people who talk about the false memory, the more real and widespread it seems. It becomes a piece of cultural information that people learn and adopt, mistaking it for a genuine memory. Another key concept is source monitoring error. This happens when we correctly remember a piece of information, but incorrectly remember where we got it from. Someone might have heard a comedian joke about Darth Vader saying, "Luke, I am your father," or seen it printed on a t-shirt. Over time, they forget the source of this information and mistakenly believe they remember it from the movie itself. Our brains are not always good at keeping track of where each piece of data comes from. This can lead to a blending of real experiences with things we've read, seen on TV, or heard from friends, creating a rich but sometimes inaccurate tapestry of memory. While psychology offers strong explanations for the Mandela Effect, some people propose more exotic theories. One of the most popular ideas is that these collective misrememberings are evidence of parallel universes. According to this theory, our universe may have collided or merged with another, slightly different one. In this other universe, it really was the Berenstain Bears, and Nelson Mandela really did die in prison. The people who remember these alternate facts are, in this view, carrying residual memories from that other timeline. While this is a fascinating idea, it exists outside the realm of what science can currently test. It remains a speculative journey into the vast possibilities of the cosmos. A more grounded scientific theory relates to the way information spreads and mutates in the digital age. In a way, the internet acts as a giant collective brain. Information, both true and false, can travel around the world in an instant. A simple spelling error or a misquote can be copied and pasted millions of times, becoming so common that it starts to feel like the truth. This is similar to how genetic mutations spread through a population. A small change can become dominant if it is repeated often enough. The Mandela effect could be seen as a kind of internet-driven informational mutation, where a false detail becomes lodged in our collective consciousness. Ultimately, the Mandela effect serves as a profound and humbling lesson about the nature of knowledge and certainty. It challenges our trust in our own minds, which we often regard as the most reliable source of truth. If our memories can be so easily flawed, what else about our perception of reality might be incorrect? This isn't a cause for despair, but for curiosity. It encourages us to be more skeptical, to question what we think we know, and to rely on verifiable evidence rather than just on the stories our minds tell us. It reminds us that the scientific method of observation, testing, and verification is our most powerful tool for navigating a universe where even our own minds can be unreliable. The cosmos is nearly 14 billion years old, and the human brain is the most complex structure we know of within it. It is an amazing instrument for understanding the universe, but it is not perfect. The Mandela Effect is not necessarily a glitch in reality, but rather a feature of our own biology. It reveals the creative, flawed, and easily influenced nature of human memory. It's a reminder that our personal and collective journey through space-time is a story we are constantly writing and rewriting. And in that process of discovery, questioning what we remember is one of the most important first steps toward understanding what is truly real.